Hello, this is my weekly reading. I'm doing it slightly differently today. I'm not using so many cards. I've just had a bit of a burnout. Please excuse any background noise. My teenagers are doing what teenagers do and having a row. I've asked them to be quiet and they haven't, so we're just going to have to bear with and hope that the microphone is louder than they are. Anyway, we have 3 cards for you to choose from today with the pick a card reading. All of my readings this week are going to be with the cards I've been using for card of the day, which is the Elemental Power Tarot. And I'm going to use some Angel Blessing cards and these cards as well. So, the first card here, because obviously the writing's a little bit, I'm not sure if you can read the writing. If I bring that up, it says Fire Magic. So that's the first card. Okay, the second card is Tears of Joy and Sadness. And for the last card pile for card number 3, is Inspiration and Courage. So I'll let you have a look at these for a few secs and see which one you are drawn to, or if it's more than one, that's fine too. And then you can go to the timestamps and pick your reading. So I shall see you on the other side. Hello, Pile 1, how are we doing? Right, as I said, this week I am just going to be using the Elemental Power Tarot, okay, and then a few other, I think I'm going to use my Angel Oracle cards and my Everyday Witch Oracle cards to go with them this week. So it's not going to be as long a reading as I normally do. It's just that I've not been too well and I'm just sort of, getting myself back into things, as it were. Anyway, you chose for your Everyday Witch Oracle Fire Magic, which is this one here. Okay, and I really feel like we're wanting to create something. This group, you're wanting to manifest. You're wanting to make something happen. And the 2 angel cards I've got to go with this are Connect, okay, which says join your energy to that of others, find strength in numbers and diversity. So this is saying whatever it is you're wanting to create, whatever it is you're wanting to manifest, perhaps it's time to seek the support of others and find other people, find your tribe, as it were. Find other people that have got the same creative ideas and bounce off each other and work it through, right. And then the other one is Freedom, which is this one here. Okay, and that one says freedom comes when you learn to let go. You can't always please others. Yeah, so not only have you got to balance working with people, having creative ideas, there might be some other ideas or things that you might have to let go of. You might have to let go of some preconceived ideas and exceptions and things like that. You've got to be willing to give and take. So there might be ideas that you feel really important, which are not important to other people, or they don't think are good enough, or somebody else might have some really good idea, or what they think is a good idea that you don't like, and it's working in that way that's being open to new ideas, not being too rigid in your thinking, and that teamwork, as it were, to get the job done. Anyway, going into the reading itself, going into the tarot cards here, we have the 5 of coins. Okay, we then have the Fool, followed by the Queen, I think it is, yes, the Queen of Earth, the Queen of Coins, as it were, in this. Okay, Queen of Coins. Justice upside down. Oh, Justice reversed. And finally, we have the 10 of coins. Okay. Now, we've got 2 major cards in this, and one of them is reversed, and everything else is coins. So there is a real sense here that this is a very earthy, or money, financial based, career based, perhaps, set reading, as it were. Sorry. Brain fog, a lot of brain fog at the moment. Right, so what I feel here is that you are wanting to level up. It's a sense of being very dissatisfied with where you are career wise. That five of coins sort of says, I haven't got enough money, I want to earn more money, I want to be ambitious, I want to get a promotion, get on that next run of the ladder, as it were. But it seems to me there is some with this Queen of Pentacles. Perhaps there is someone who doesn't quite think you are ready, or someone you really need to convince. I'm not saying they're an enemy. I'm not saying that they're wrong in what they think, but you need to prove to them. It might feel unfair. If it might feel unfair that they're like barring you from moving forward, or they don't. But perhaps you've just got to work that little bit harder to prove to this person that you are right, that you are ready for this responsibility, because they are doubting you, because they don't see you at your best. So what I say to that is, rather than, oh, they're being unfair to me, or feeling sorry for yourself, you've got to say, right, I'm going to prove to this person that I deserve this promotion. I deserve to be that next run up the ladder. All right? Okay, use it as a way to inspire you and challenge you, rather than just being bitter about the barrier, and etc. And use the barrier as a means to pull yourself up, rather than pull yourself over the barrier, rather than walking away from the barrier with bitterness. As you know what I mean? And you will find things will go a lot better than you expect if you just hold on to this idea that you need to you need to basically, just this person, you need to prove to them, and they're not an unreasonable person, they're not a bad person, they just haven't seen your light yet, and it's time to show, and it's time to shine. So all that remains to be said for this week is take care of yourselves and mind how you go. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. Right, the card you chose was Tears of Joy and Sadness. So this feels like it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag this week of stuff going well and maybe stuff going not so well. We'll have to see. Right, okay, my glasses seem a little bit wonky. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the angle, I don't know. Anyway, right, let's see what we do. Let's see what we've got here. Right, for our oracle cards, and as I said, I'm just doing some angel blessing cards this week. And then the majority of the reading is going to be with the Elemental Power Tarot. Okay, so everybody's getting the same treatment this week. Right, okay, we have Heal Your Heart. Okay. You may hear echoes from the past, but leave them be. It's time to move on. Lovely. Okay. And the other one is Sacred Space. I could do with that at the moment. Doing a bit of space away from chaos. Right. Oh, drop. Right, here we go. Go for a walk in nature. The answer will come when your mind is peaceful. Here we go. Okay, so perhaps this is going to be quite an emotional week. Right, let's have a look. Our first card in the tarot is the World. Okay. The second card is the Six of Wands. The third card is the Eight of Swords. Okay. The fourth card is the Queen of Cups reversed. And finally, we have the Queen of Coins upright. Okay, right. So let's have a look at this. We've got two queenies here, and one of them seems to be a little bit of a bitch, if you ask me. Right. We start on the world. It's time to stop hiding in the shadows, is what I'm getting here. It's time to stop hiding in the shadows and put our foot out onto the spotlight. It's time to, for good or ill, it is time to put ourselves out in the spotlight. Okay? And it won't be completely awful. It certainly won't be as bad as you fear. It will be quite exciting. It will be nice to get some praise from very unexpected quarters, but equally there is going to be some criticism. I can see an equal balance here, especially with these two queens, one reversed and one upright, is that you're going to get an equal amount of praise as you are negativity or criticism. So you've just really got to find balance in what's going on here. So if you've got the six is like 3 and 3, which is a balance. Then you've got the 8 of Swords, which again 4 and 4 is balance. You and as I say, we've got these two queens, one up, one down. Everything just feels like is good and bad in this. And also what with the everyday oracle, the witch's oracle, and with the thing in the mirror of tears and sadness, sort of tears and joy, you're going to get some really, whatever it is you're putting out into the world, you're going to get some really good feedback, but you're also going to get equally some criticism. Okay, so you've got to mentally prepare yourself for that. Mentally prepare yourself for the highs and for the lows, and you'll do just fine. So all that remains to be said is take care of yourself and mind how you go. Hello, pile 3. Right, this is your reading for the week, and the card that you chose was Inspiration and Courage. So, sounds like you're needing perhaps a little bit of oomph in your week. Right, let's have a look here. Interesting. The angel cards we've got to go with this reading are surrender, release all tension, mental, emotional, physical. The universe will support you. Okay. And then we have rebirth. The ashes of the past leave fertile ground for new spiritual growth. See your glory. Okay. So from what I'm looking at this, it's saying, okay, we need to learn our lessons from the past. We can't let our past hold us back. We've got to really think about perhaps surrendering to the inevitable and just sometimes just letting things go their own way, letting people go their own way. Don't try and hang on to somebody or something because you know it's going to hurt. Letting them go. Sometimes you just got to say, okay, that's what they want. You've got to accept that. However tough it is, grieve. Go through that grieving process. Grieve their leaving you. Grieve their passing. Go through that grief process, whether it's passing from out of your life or passing out of life. Embrace that grieving process, whatever the situation is. But then the time comes when we have to take that step forward and scoop up those ashes, spread them somewhere meaningful, and watch the flowers grow. Because if you remember what happened out on the battlefields at World War One, with the red poppies that grew. There's always something is going to grow from the ashes of the past, and sometimes it can be very beautiful. But I digress. Let's go into the tarot readings. Right. Okay, our first card is the 7 of coins. I had a lot of coins in here this week. Okay, and the 8 of swords again. Had that in one of the earlier readings. So you never know. If you're drawn to one of the earlier readings, you might find that in there too. Right, we have strength. Lovely. And we have the star. Even better. And finally, we have the 5 of coins. Right, okay. I do find it interesting. We've got strength because strength is courage, and the card we chose, inspiration and courage, with courage. So courage and hope again. Star, inspiration. It's just all tying in beautifully today. It just feels we are really, really working hard towards, I want to say, getting our ducks in a row. Even though I'm looking at swords here, I want to say putting our ducks in a row, putting everything into order. These swords feel like they've been sorted into order. And part of me is saying, sorry, I was splitting with the hair at the moment. Part of me is saying that this is what we've been working hard to do: get our affairs in order, get our get ourselves straight, because there are things we want to do. There are things we want to. It's almost like we're looking in the past and we want to make sense of the past. We want to learn from the past. Oh, but we want to move forward, and we need to have everything tied neatly in a bow. We need to have everything stacked up neatly before we can sort of move forward. This picture, this strength picture, this picture of the lion is really beautiful. This deck doesn't have any people in it whatsoever. There's no images of people. It's either animals or things, and because in fact with this deck, the only person meant to be in this deck is you. Just you. This is you in this world. So, when we're looking at, I talked about, didn't I, a minute ago, I talked about the field of poppies in World War One, and then I looked at this picture again, the strength, and look, we've got a field of poppies. So I really feel that this is about recovering from the past, learning from the past, and whatever lessons we need to take from the past will make our future a whole lot more beautiful. Bad things happen, shit happens, and all of that. But look what you can do with shit. You can turn it into manure and grow flowers. So, and I kind of feel very uplifted by this. Sorry, family stuff going on in the background. Hopefully the microphone will drown it out. But so yeah, we have the star here. It just feels like the calm, the sort of the honey sort of dropping into the jug there of its own accord. I'm really yawning when I get to. Every time I get to the star, I'm yawning. So it's obviously got to mean something. This star has got to mean something quite important. And to me, it means hope. Hope after a struggle. Hope after turmoil and difficulty. And it's saying everything's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna turn out okay. With the five of coins, I don't feel this is referring to. I feel it's referring to mundane things. Because it's earthy and it's coins. I just feel like whatever difficulties remain in the mundane, I think things are going to improve, but there's still going to be a few things to sort out. There's going to be a few wobbles. That's what I want to say. I feel this is saying there's a few wobbles. You're not completely out of the woods yet, but there's so much hope and there's so much goodness coming your way that these are going to be just little niggles. These are going to be little niggles which in the long term are not going to bar your progress. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and that we will see you again for a daily reading or even a monthly reading, because obviously we're going to have to do a monthly reading for April, which is soon to arrive. So all that remains to be said is take care, look after yourselves, and mind how you get.